up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? Once again, we are in our advent calendar room, featuring a sign from Stylishly Tiny. And since we are in our advent calendar room, I thought it was time to put stuff in the calendar. Barbie recently came out with a 12 Days of Christmas advent calendar. It came with a doll and a lot of fun stuff, including 2 outfits and other holiday items. So let's try to craft our own 12 Days of Christmas advent calendar stuff. Barbie has this gold dress. Let's make something inspired by that. I picked up this pink and gold ribbon at Michael's. It's 3.5 inches wide and has a wire. I cut 2 pieces that are 7 inches long. I fold one in half, cut on the fold, lay them on top of the other piece of ribbon, securing them with pins. Sew a line near the edge, connecting the 3 pieces together. Carefully trim off the wire. Take one of the sides and fold it back. Cut a piece of Velcro, pull it apart, move down about 1/2 inch and sew on the Velcro. Open the other side and sew on the other half of the Velcro. So when we reverse it, we should be able to close it up using the Velcro. Yay! I zigzag all the edges to stop it from fraying. Fold over and hem the top and bottom. I tried to do a little bit of a curve on the top. Place it on a doll with the good side facing out. Grab the fabric at the waist and we're going to just kind of pinch it. Sew it together to make a very simple dress. I think I'm going to take it up a little at the bottom so it's above the knee. I add a few darts in the back just to help it to fit a little better on the top. Okay, much better. I take a small piece of ribbon and fold it in half, draw a small rectangle and sew along the line, leaving a small opening in the center. Trim off the excess, flip it inside out to make a small rectangle. I cut a strip that's a little less than 1 inch wide and 5 inches long. Zigzag stitch the edges, then fold them over and hem both sides. I trimmed it to 4.5 inches because it was a little too long, and now I'm adding Velcro to the ends to make a belt. Sew the rectangle to the center, pinching it in the center to make a bow. Place it around the doll's waist to add a little something extra to the dress. It's a very simple dress, and of course you can use fabric. I just use ribbon because that's what I had available. And I'm trying to make everything match. For the next project, I place the dress on my doll and take a picture. Let's do a little light editing, then print it out. Let's cut them out to be a miniature holiday card for the dolls. Which reminds me, this is an advent calendar room, so all of our projects need to fit in the calendar. The card will definitely fit. Remove the books, place the card inside, then replace the books. The dress has to fit into a cubby too, so let's fold it and place it in one of the boxes. It's barely staying. Okay, we do need to keep that in mind. Or we can just make one craft every day for 12 days. Defeats the purpose of this whole shelf, but it gives us the liberty to make whatever we want. And I like those rules better. So on the first day of Christmas, I gave to my dolly a dress. On the second day of Christmas, I gave to my dolly a holiday card. Let's take some recycled paperboard and roll it into a cone. Glue it down. I used hot glue. Trim it to make a cone. Cut a wooden dowel, glue it into the cone. Then starting at the bottom, I begin to add layers of hot glue. I use the nozzle to carve lines. Continue adding layers, going all the way to the top. On a silicone mat, let's make a large circle of glue. Give it a few moments to dry a little, and then place the wooden dowel in the glue. Hold it straight until it dries. When we remove it, we now have a little base for our tree. Let's add a few circles or drops all over the tree. Let's paint it. I'm going with green. It took a couple of coats and I allowed it to dry. Then let's add a little white paint just on the little levels and our little drops. Paint the little drops. I made a little star out of hot glue, glue it on top, add a little glitter nail polish. So on the third day of Christmas, we can give to our dollies a holiday tree. Let's take a fuzzy yarn and crochet. This is kind of difficult because it's so puffy. But we're just going to crochet a chain, and this is going to be probably about 2.5 inches. Then let's do a single crochet. I think that's what it's called. Is it a single or a double? I don't really know crochet language, but this is what I'm doing. And we're gonna just make a large rectangle. Yeah. To make a strip, that's about 7 inches. I sew a hook and eye on the top corner. So on the 4th day of Christmas, I give to my dolly a stole. We can position it so it can be worn a number of different ways, so Mini Toya can be cozy on her way to the next holiday party. On the 5th day of Christmas, I made a second one because, we had this yarn already. And this time I sewed the ends together. So we have a little hole in the center to make a muff. Ooh, so vintage. Let's take more of that ribbon. I cut a piece that is 8 inches long, and I cut the ribbon to 2 inches. I zigzag the edges to prevent them from unraveling. Then I fold over and hem it on the 2 longest sides. Then flip it so the good side is facing up. Grab the ends, and we're gonna sew them together. To make a circle, flatten the circle with the seam in the center. Sew a line about 3/4 of an inch across, connecting them in the center. Flip it right side out. Place it on the doll so the arms go through the little openings. And on the 6th day of Christmas, we made for our dolly a shrug. Let's take more of that ribbon. Place a sticky note on top. Mine is 3 by 3 inches. Cut out 2. Lay them good side to good side. Sew a straight line around the edge, leaving an opening so it can be flipped. Add fluff. Sew the opening closed. So on the 7th day of Christmas, we made for our dollies pillows. Let's work a little more with hot glue. So I lay down my silicone mat, make round, that was totally not it. Make round drops of glue, allow it to cool, and then I add another drop of glue right next to it. Maybe we can add some little arms onto this one. I made a little painting stand using foam board and pens. I carefully place the glue onto the pens, paint them brown. I tap the edges with the paint to try to add a little texture. Use paint for icing to make them look like little snowmen. While waiting for them to dry, I cut circles out of cardstock, glue them together. I place it on a stencil to indent it and make the shape of a plate. Paint a little decoration, then seal it with clear nail polish once it dries to give the plate a shine. And on the 8th day of Christmas, we made for our dollies a plate of gingerbread snowman cookies. But they still need to dry, so we'll just let them stay separate for now. And let's work on something easy. I made a quick little printable with a bag, card, magazine, and a letter. We already made the card in this video, but these two are for you. And with this mini card, we can fold it in half so it can stand. Let's cut out the magazine cover. That's a easy one. Glue it onto leftover cardstock from the plate, cut it out, and repeat a few more times to make a quick little magazine for the coffee table. I made another one and printed it on photo paper, and it came out a lot more clear. On the 9th day of Christmas, I made for my dolly room clutter. Speaking of room clutter, our inspo advent calendar looks like it has a letter and a pencil. So I included a quick little letter on our printable that we can cut out, glue onto cardstock. For a quick letter, you could choose to write a letter to Santa. I chose online stores. What? They have deliveries to make too. I place it onto a piece of paper, and then we're gonna just fold and crease the paper around it. Lightly sketch little triangles out to the sides, cut it out, erase any pencil marks, then fold in the sides, fold the bottom up, and we're gonna glue that down to make an envelope for the letter. Cut a toothpick, paint it to look like a pencil so the doll can write the letter. On the 10th day of Christmas, we made for our dolly more table clutter. Okay, we need to do something a little more. Cut a 1/2-inch strip of paper from the side of the printable, fold it in half, cut it into 2 pieces, wrap it around something round, and glue it down to make a paper tube. Glue it onto cardstock, glue on strips of paper for a handle. I use hot glue to add a little drop. Paint a little snowman face, seal it with nail polish, and allow it to dry. So on the 11th day of Christmas, we made for our dollies snowman mugs. On the printable, we still have a gift bag to make. Let's cut it out, fold on the lines, fold over and glue down the top, glue on ribbon or cording for handles, then glue the side to the side tab, fold in and glue down the bottom tabs. I added a little ribbon and a gift tag, glue pom-poms together to make a little stuffed bear, add a bow to make a little bear to go in the gift bag. Add a little tissue paper, place the pom-pom bear inside. So on the 12th day of Christmas, we made for our dollies a gift to go under the tree. And that's 12 Days of Crafts, inspired by Barbie's 12 Days of Christmas Advent Calendar. Thank you for joining us for another holiday craft video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff, the Frog Vlog, and Bella of MyFroggyStuff. And we will see you next time.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season. They said, Saint Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah? I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They said, Saint Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah? I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They said, Saint Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah? I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They said, Saint Nick, what you got up in that bag? I got racks in my sack or in my bag.